Welcome to our Google AdWords 102 tutorial. In Part 3, we'll show you how to exclude sites from your content network. Now let's talk about running ads on the content network. Keep in mind that this network includes hundreds of thousands or even millions of sites, some of which are proper business sites, and some of which are run by people part-time and get very little traffic. There's potentially a huge reach, but even though Google screens sites, let's just say that sometimes some lesser quality sites sometimes sneak through the filters. When I say lesser quality, I mean that the content isn't great and you may need to be cautious. For example, it may include some spam search engine sites. And what I mean by that is that they're essentially junk sites. They've been created specifically for the purpose of getting visitors through the search engines and then bombarding them with ads or pop-ups or whatever. But the content itself is worthless. It's often generated automatically, and it's just awful. These sites will generally last only a month or two, if that, before the search engines ban them for good. But some people do make a living out of building spam search engine sites, and your ads may appear on those sites from time to time. For example, there may be other types of sites that you don't want your ad to appear on. Basically, when you become aware of certain sites like that you really don't want your ad appearing on, maybe it's a junk site or it's unprofitable or it may tarnish your company's image or whatever, then you can exclude those sites. So, here's the Antique Tables Content Network campaign. If you click through, we're at the ad group level, and here it says excluded or no excluded sites, so we can add excluded sites. Let's add that. Select campaign. We've already done that, but it allows us to do it again. Sites to exclude. Okay, I don't have any sites I necessarily want to exclude at this point, and you can see that our campaign isn't even running yet. We have no impressions and no ad clicks. But let's just say, for example, that I don't want my ads to appear on download.com. Let's see if Google accepts this example, because obviously this site, download.com, is a software download site and it isn't relevant to antiques at all. And I believe it's part of the search network rather than the content network. It's a natural partner site. But let's just click on Exclude Sites and see what happens. Okay, it's added it. And now we're excluding download.com. And there's your list. If you wish, you can check here and delete it. And that's just how easy it is to exclude a site. And from then on, your content network ads will not appear on that site. Interestingly, it says here that you may enter domain, subdomain, and even one folder name. For example, you can be as specific as download.com /folder 1, so there's a lot of flexibility there. Generally, of course, this is something that becomes clearer after the campaign has been running for a little while, and you start getting feedback, and you're seeing what's happening, and finding out where people are clicking from. If there's a site you don't want them clicking from, you can just exclude it. But that comes down to tracking, which is an advanced topic that we aren't going to cover yet at this stage. Still, as a very quick overview, if you have tracking software such as Google Analytics installed, or any other analytics software or services, and there are a huge number of them on the market, a leading example is ClickTracks at clicktracks.com. That will give you a lot of information about where people are clicking from. You can add this to your site, or alternatively, there are free versions of the analytics, but the free version that generally comes with your web hosting or website is your website log files. Most hosting firms and web servers offer these log files, which basically gives you all kinds of information about number of visitors, number of page views, which country visitors are coming from, and so on. This is very detailed, and generally any hosting plan or service setup has log files, and you can even just look through those, and it will give you an idea where people are coming from and it might well give you ideas about what sites you want to exclude from your content network advertising campaign.